have you ever really stopped to think about your bank? I mean, the actual experience, the waiting, maybe the fees that kind of pop up, it can feel a bit cumbersome, right?
Definitely not always designed with user friendliness first, maybe more institutional.
Exactly. Now, what if finance felt totally different? Simpler, faster, way more accessible, all just, on your phone.
That's the world we're seeing emerge, absolutely.
Well, today, that's what we're diving into. We're looking at this really fascinating case study, a neobank that's shaking things up, especially in Africa.
Sometimes called the money app for Africans, right?
That's the one. We're focusing on Kuda. Their whole mission, basically, is making financial services easier to get, cheaper, and, well, more rewarding for Africans.
A pretty bold mission.
It is. And it starts with this core idea. What is a neobank, really? We hear the term, but...
Right. So fundamentally, it's a digital-only bank. No physical branches. That's the key starting point.
Okay, digital only. What does that actually mean for you, the person using it, like immediately?
Well, think about the costs of traditional banks. Rent, staff, utilities, security, for all those buildings, it adds up. A neobank doesn't have that.
Oh, so they're leaner.
Much leaner.
Yeah.
Mobile first. They build the whole experience around the app, and that lack of overhead, that's not just about saving money internally.
They pass it on.
That's the idea. It allows them to offer services differently. Plus, they can be incredibly agile, Update things, respond to users much faster than a big traditional bank often can.
Right, that makes sense. And Kuda really leans into that mobile first thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Taking those savings from not having branches and giving it back, like you said.
Exactly. Reduced fees, sometimes no fees at all for common things. It changes the whole value equation for the customer.
And geographically, they're mainly in Nigeria and the UK, right? But with that tag, the money app for Africans, clearly focused.
Yeah, the primary market focus is definitely Nigeria and serving Africans more broadly, even with the UK base.
So just take a second and imagine that all your banking, literally everything, just happening on your smartphone. No branch visits ever. Kuda's making that real for millions.
It's a fundamental shift.
But okay, playing devil's advocate here. What if you need help with something complicated? Something you normally go into a branch for? Or what about places where internet isn't, super reliable? Is there a risk of leaving some people behind?
That's a really important question. And yeah, it's a challenge. Neobanks like Kuda invest a lot in their digital support. Think really good in-app chat, AI bots, but also actual human support teams you can reach through the app, email, phone.
Trying to recreate that personal touch, but digitally.
Exactly. And for connectivity. Look, that's an ongoing issue in many places. Often, these services get traction first in cities where smartphone use and internet are better.
Makes sense.
But they're not ignoring it. They develop workarounds, like USSD codes, those simple star hash commands on basic phones.
Oh, right, for basic transactions.
Yeah, so you don't even need a fancy data plan for certain things. It's about adapting, finding solutions that fit the local reality, not just imposing a single model.
Okay, that adaptability is key. So let's dive into the features now. What does banking in your pocket actually look like with Kuda? The big headline seems to be free banking and transfers.
That definitely gets attention.
So for users in Nigeria, what does free mean in practice?
It means 25 free transfers every month to any other bank in Nigeria, which is pretty generous.
25 is quite a lot.
It is. And then, this is clever, transfers inside the Kuda network, just using someone's Kuda username, are totally unlimited and free.
So that encourages people to get their friends and family on board. It creates a network effect.
Exactly. It makes sending money within your circle totally frictionless, almost like sending a message. It builds community and usage organically.
And this free approach, it's more than just a gimmick, right? It feels like a direct challenge.
Oh, absolutely. It's pushing back against those traditional fee models that, let's be honest, can be a real barrier, especially in emerging markets. They can exclude people.
Right.
By cutting those fees, Kuda isn't just making banking cheaper, it's making it genuinely more accessible. It's lowering the barrier to entry for the formal financial system. It's a different philosophy.
Okay, that's a really strong point. But it does raise the question. If so much is free, how does Kuda actually make money? What's the business model? Are there hidden catches?
Fair question. It's not all free, and the model is different. They earn revenue in other ways. One big one is interchange fees.
When you use the card.
Yeah, when you use your Kuda card to buy something, the merchant's bank pays Kuda a tiny percentage. That adds up across millions of transactions.
Okay.
They also earn interest on the deposits customers hold, just like any bank. And they might offer premium services or specialized business accounts that do have fees.
So the trade-off isn't really a hidden fee. It's more about getting you into their system.
Kind of. By making the basic stuff free and easy, they encourage you to use Kuda for more of your financial life. More transactions mean more interchange, more deposits mean more interest potential. They also get valuable data on spending patterns, which helps them develop better products. If it works well, you save money, and they build a sustainable business.
A balancing act, then. Got it. Now, beyond just moving money, what about managing it? You mentioned tools.
Yeah, they have features for automated savings. You can set rules like save a small amount every time you spend or put aside a fixed sum regularly.
Making saving automatic, basically, taking the effort out of it.
Exactly, which is huge for building habits, especially, if traditional saving felt like a hassle, needing visits or complicated setups. Kuda tries to bake good financial habits right into the app experience.
That automation seems really powerful for building resilience. And speaking of building wealth, this next one surprised me. Investing in U.S. stocks.
Yeah, that's a big one. For Nigerian users, the ability to buy fractions of U.S. stocks directly through the app.
Wow. That feels significant, like really opening doors.
It absolutely is. Think about it. Access to global equity markets was, for a long time, really difficult for the average person in many countries. Complex, expensive.
Reserved for the wealthy, maybe.
Often, yeah. Kuda is basically saying, no, you can participate too. It connects directly to that rewarding part of their mission. It's offering a potential path to wealth creation that just wasn't easily available before. It changes the game from just managing money day to day to potentially building long-term, even intergenerational wealth.
Okay, that's a massive opportunity.
Yeah.
But investing, especially in foreign markets, isn't risk-free, right? Now, there's volatility, currency risk. How does Kuda handle that? Is there enough support for people new to investing?
That's crucial. Access is one thing, responsible access is another. The risks are real market swings, exchange rates moving against you, things happening in the U.S. economy. Kuda's role here is really about education and simplification. They typically provide clear information, maybe articles or FAQs within the app. They try to make the process of investing simple, but they also have to be clear about the risks involved. Maybe tools to see potential currency impacts, clear disclaimers. It's about empowerment through knowledge, not just clipping a button.
Making it accessible, but not hiding the complexity. That makes sense. And for just everyday stuff, paying the bills, buying phone credit.
Oh yeah, it covers all that. Bill payments, buying airtime, making payments online, offline. Standard stuff, but integrated smoothly.
And they have some interesting payment options too, cardless things.
Right, like pay with bank or pay with USSD. That USSD thing, again, using those simple codes on any phone lets you pay at, like shop terminals, point-of-sale machines, or even on websites without needing a physical card or sometimes even data.
That's really practical, especially thinking about different contexts and phone types.
Exactly, context-specific solutions. And of course, you can get regular physical and virtual Visa cards too, if you prefer those.
Seems like they cover a lot of bases. And it's not just for individuals. There's a business version.
Correct. Kuda Business. It's a separate app aimed at freelancers, small business owners, SMEs.
What does that offer?
Things tailored for business needs, sending proper invoices, making bulk payments useful for paying suppliers or staff, and even tools for managing payroll.
So they're really thinking across the spectrum, from someone just starting to save to a small business trying to streamline things.
Yeah, trying to address those common headaches, like why should a small business owner spend hours on invoicing when they could be growing the business? Kuda Business tries to automate that.
It really feels like they're trying to remove friction everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all this digital convenience, the trust question looms large. Who is Kuda Technologies Ltd? Who actually built this?
Good question. It was founded in 2019. The founders are Babs Ogundai and Musti Mustafa.
And based in London, right. Which is
Okay.
interesting for an Africa-focused company.
It is. Headquartered in London, UK. It suggests maybe access to funding, a certain regulatory environment perhaps, but with that clear operational focus on Nigeria and the African continent. Bit of a global-local mix.
Okay, but London HQ aside, how is it regulated in Nigeria? That's critical for user trust, especially with a digital-only bank.
Absolutely critical. And this is key. Kuda isn't just some app operating independently, it holds a microfinance bank license in Nigeria.
Ah, so it's officially recognized and supervised.
Exactly. Regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria. That means they have to meet specific standards, capital requirements, operational rules.
And what about the money itself? Is it safe if something goes wrong?
Yes. And this is super important for peace of mind. Deposits are insured by the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, the NDIC.
Like deposit insurance in other countries?
Precisely. There's a safety net. So that combination, being licensed by the central bank and having deposits insured by the NDIC, that's the foundation of trust. It tells you it's a legitimate financial institution operating within the established rules, even if it looks very different from a traditional bank.
That regulatory piece really does make a difference to confidence. But, tech moves so fast, fintech innovation is rapid. How hard is it for regulators, like the Central Bank of Nigeria, to keep up? Does regulation sometimes lag behind what these companies can do?
That's a constant challenge everywhere, honestly. Not just in Nigeria. Regulators are always trying to balance encouraging innovation, which is good for consumers and the economy, with protecting people and ensuring the whole financial system remains stable.
A tightrope walk.
Definitely. You often see things like regulatory sandboxes, where new ideas can be tested in a controlled way. For users, it means it's worth paying attention to a company's regulatory status. The fact that Kuda went and got that microfinance license is a strong positive signal. They chose to operate within the system.
Rather than trying to skirt around it.
Right. But it does mean there's this ongoing dialogue, this tension between the fintechs pushing boundaries and the regulators trying to adapt the rules effectively. Ideally, it leads to a stronger, safer digital finance space for everyone.
That makes sense. It's an evolving landscape. So stepping back, when you, our listener, think about choosing where to bank, what matters most, is it the fees, the convenience, the security, the features? Kuda seems to be trying to hit all those points. The digital convenience, the low-no fees, the useful features like savings and even investing, and crucially, underpinning it with that regulatory approval and deposit insurance.
It really feels like a new model. So just to wrap things up a bit, Kuda's approach is clearly making waves. Digital only, focused on making finance accessible, affordable, rewarding in Africa with real features, and importantly, that regulatory backing.
Yeah, it's a compelling package, from the free transfers and savings tools right up to U.S. stock investing and the business features, all built on that licensed, insured foundation. So, thinking bigger picture now, what does the success of neobanks like Kuda signal for banking globally? They're definitely challenging the old guard, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. They force traditional banks to look at their own models. Why are our fees so high? Why is our app experience clunky? Why does it take so long to open an account? Kuda and others are setting a new benchmark for customer expectations.
Especially around fees and digital experience.
Definitely. And you see this pattern, right? Disruption often starts by serving a specific need or group really well, in Kuda's case, providing accessible, low-cost banking in Africa, and then those models often expand or influence the mainstream. They've shown you can build trust and deliver huge value digitally.
Absolutely. Which leads to, I guess, our final thought for you today. If this digital-first banking can create so much value and accessibility, particularly in a market like Africa, what does that really mean for the future, for economic participation, for financial inclusion, not just there, but everywhere?
Yeah, what if all banking felt as easy, as instant as, say, using a chat app? How would that change things?
Does the idea of a bank even need to involve a building anymore? Or is it just about secure, efficient services?
And if it's the latter, if the barriers just keep falling, what kind of economic empowerment could that unleash worldwide?
It's definitely something to think about. Keep an eye on this space. These financial technologies aren't just changing how we manage money. They might be reshaping our economic futures.